Um, Hello again. And today I have Patricia back here, and you might wonder, why do you have Patricia back here again? Well, she's my sister. That's why. And family members celebrate with you. So also because she's a big part of urban aesthetics. Um, and we're going to talk about, the name of this segment is The Series Begins.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about the celebration of how I came up with the idea of the guide series.
Mm-hmm.
So, if just going back a little bit to a couple of segments ago, Michael Edmondson was in the segment with me, and he helped me publish with him and his partner at the time, Peter Abramo. We published a book called "A Your Path to Green."
So this is Lisa's book, Your Path to Green, that she wrote with Michael Edmondson.
And at the time, I dreamed of having I wanted to do a whole series about going green. I was going to do green buildings, greening your home, greening your commercial space. And that was, so my idea at that time was 5 books. Mm-hmm. And so that didn't happen because that just didn't happen.
Yes.
And so after that, I published Metamorphosis, which was the poetry book that I always wanted to publish. And that was just me on my own. I've always wanted to publish my poetry book. And Michael came along and had asked me right before I was going to do my own book. And I was so excited. I said, sure. And I was so excited. And that gave me encouragement to do my own book. And Patricia helped me publish Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, Aesthetic Poetry by Felicia Middleton.
That was 2013.
Yes.
And then I didn't write a book, but for the next 6 years, I published blogs.
Yes.
The one series of blogs, which will eventually be a book, was Gentrification, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Mm-hmm. That was a long series of, I think that was about 7 or 8 blogs. I can't remember the number, but and then I started publishing my blogs about food. Mm-hmm. Before I published the blogs about food, I published blogs about opening your commercial facility. I always published blogs about what I knew, what was going on. So then I published some blogs about food and opening your food facility. That morphed into, I always had that checklist that I had created that I would try to give to my clients. And, anyway, I would try to give it to my clients, the food facility checklist. And then what I found was a lot of clients would get caught up in not knowing the process. Opening a food facility, just like opening up anything or just like any renovation, takes a process. But it's so much more complicated because there's so many players. You have multiple engineers. You might have multiple designers. You have a chef sometimes. You have a food service consultant. You have just a whole litany of people that come in together for a team to help successfully get a restaurant open. So I thought, why don't I create a book? And this was after we did the Bourse, and I was talking with a few people that I knew, and I said, why don't we first we were going to do a workshop on opening a restaurant, and the workshop was almost worked out the same way the book was. And then I ended up doing a video with Calvin Snowden, who's a client of mine that I always work with, and they on opening food facilities. And that video helped me get my thoughts together. And that's when I decided I have to get this book out. I called my sister up, and what did we do? We planned out how we were going to do this book, which was a complete guide to creating tasty spaces. That's the
This is the proof.
Yeah, that's the proof.
This is the first proof.
No, I thought the first proof was a small one.
No, the first proof was the big one.
Oh, okay. Because we went back and forth with this book, and we decided to make it into a workbook. And the workbook was so that a client can take the book and they can, as they're looking for their facility, as they're designing it, as they're planning their menu. They can fill out the information right in the book, and it's all in one spot. And as you're doing your checklist for your inspection and all the other things, you're looking for your contractor. There's a contractor checklist in there. There's all kind of useful tips that you can use to help you build your facility. And I have a client right now.
Complete guide.
It's a complete guide. I have a client right now. Every time we come out to the site, he has the book in his hand. I love this guy too.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love it every time I see him because he has his thumb in between the pages. He has his book in his hand every time we meet. And we've met. Usually I don't meet that much this early in the game. We've met about 4 times. He always had that book in his hand.
I love it. I think that's awesome.
I do too. So aside from the book, we did a video series which I talked to Josh about based on the book. So we just took the book and we took every chapter and we said we're going to do a little video just to give nuggets of. It's not the videos in no way cover everything that's in the book, but it gives you nuggets of what you're doing when you're opening a restaurant. We had just like we have in the book, we had a chef that did one of the shows. Actually, we had several chefs. We had several. I can't remember everybody's name. We had 4 chefs, I believe. We had another architect. We had a contractor. We had a finance guy, Scott Fields. Shout out to Scott Fields. He did the financial piece, and we had just different people come in and give their thoughts on their specialty. But there are people that take part in creating your tasty space. We even had somebody talk about insurance. A friend of mine, Dr. Ronaldo Epps. One of the big things he talks about in the book, in his chapter of the book, is the importance of the different types of insurance you'll need when you open a restaurant. All of these little things that some people don't even think about. They just don't think about it. They just think, I got a building, I'm paying rent, I need to open up a restaurant. I'm not a cook. And so that the whole idea is to bring everybody together from a community that know one another. We've worked in this field, we've done these things, and help you go from chapter 1 all the way to the end and open up your restaurant. And that's the whole idea of the book.
So how did you come up with the series? We know how you came up with the book, but what made you think about expanding it into a series?
Well, as you know, I do more than one thing. I'm a juggler. So I design residential, I design commercial. One of the things about residential, which I design I'd say 90 to maybe 95% of my residential projects that I design are non-occupied residential. But I always get questions over the years because about 7 or 8 years ago, I did an entire series for a couple of years on home maintenance. And I was just trying to help people know the importance of maintaining your home and making sure you keep your home safe, and doing things so that you won't have major repairs to pay for. So I would give out home maintenance tips every week. And so that morphed into a part of the book that I wrote, which was about your guide to homeowner's guide to renovations and maintenance.
Yes, I won't hold that up because you're going to be talking about that in an upcoming hour.
Victoria, yes.
Yeah.
So that was our most recent piece to the guide. But as Patricia knows, we have developed I think there's only one book left, and Victoria and I are in the process of developing that book because that's about green. And Victoria is, everybody knows, the queen of green. And so we're going to do an entire, this is going to be kind of a big book, because we're going to talk about greening your home. And not just greening your home with little things like recycling, and we're going to go down and ugly into greening your homes. And so that's going to be a long process. We touch on it in a homeowner's guide to renovations and maintenance, but we're going to dive. The whole book is going to be on greening your home, on building green homes. We're still in development of that. That's the first one. But the other two that are coming up. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, but you have 2 more before that
We have one in development right now that Poetrisha Publishing is in the process of helping me get together, and that is your because I have a class on this. I definitely need an ebook to go with the class. Why not? And it's called A Complete Guide to Understanding Construction Documents, which is I have a class on understanding construction documents, which is a blueprint reading class. And I thought she was about to pull up another book.
Oh,
and
a
then
little tickle in my throat.
and then the final one, and the other one is A Complete Guide to Creating Commercial Spaces. So those two are in development. There's no exact time to when they will come out. Well, we know when the construction documents one, that's almost done in theory. But not in theory, actually, I've written most of it. But Patricia and I are developing that. But we're also not going to do construction your complete guide to creating commercial spaces probably until next year. So those are the books in the guide series, and it's 5 books. And you asked me where did I come up with the idea to do 5? Well, originally I wanted to do 5 anyway with Your Path to Green. So it's just kind of the same what we were going to do 5 of in that series, but it's just morphed into this guide series.
Awesome, awesome. So, are you planning on what will season 3 look like? Do you know yet? Can we have a sneak preview of that for aesthetically speaking?
Josh has season 3 in his possession right now. We have 3.
Oh,
Actually, season 3 is complete, and during the pandemic, season 3 was complete probably 6 months ago.
okay.
But I had some challenges personally, and the pandemic has gotten to all of us, and we lose people.
Absolutely,
It kind of slows us down, and Josh has had challenges, so we just wanted to slow down on the editing and production, getting that out. So we have half of that season is going through home renovations and getting permits and doing the right thing with your home, and then the other half is the update to commercial kitchens. So we have actually in the update to commercial kitchens, I actually have someone from the food service industry that's not even in the United States. She's actually from Denmark, and we're collaborating on our books, and we're doing a collaboration with the video series as well. She did two Zooms with me where I recorded her. She released the recording, and we're doing that as well as we're collaborating with our books together. So it's been, during the pandemic, there's so much that you can do, but then sometimes you have to slow it down because of, you have to get yourself together mentally.
Self-care. Yeah.
Yes. So besides those additional projects, I slowed them down because of self-care and because you just want to get your head together. And but they're there. All the content is there. Josh and I are going to go through how we're going to release them.
Awesome.
Aesthetically speaking, has been in a quote unquote hiatus, but it's still there, and it's going to
have a lot of television programs and YouTube programs. That's not unusual in this pandemic era.
And something exciting. I have no.
Drum roll.
And I have already planned a tour of restaurants in Las Vegas, and it's going to be a part of Aesthetically Speaking Las Vegas, and that will be this year. That is that's how Josh and I work. We can just come up with these crazy things just at the last minute, but it
that's
works.
A great sneak preview. That's awesome.
Yes. So that's going to be a fun thing. We always work together well, so that's exciting. But again, the ultimate purpose of this segment, as well as all of our segments today, is to celebrate my wins and celebrate with the people that have helped me celebrate my wins. And Patricia, you are definitely one of them. And especially with these books, man, I mean, my goodness. And I get beat over the head about getting these books out.
Not literally, folks.
But anyway, Patricia helps me get my books out. Man, oh man, she helps me get my blogs out. and my content for everything. And but we also want to make sure we keep in focus with our goal today. And you helped me with this as well. So
Yes,
using
I've
money.
made sure I donated twice
Yeah.
to AA AAYLF, and I am also going to be enrolling in their monthly plan later on after this fundraiser to sponsor a girl for an entire year.
Yeah. And
So
we want
I believe in this cause, and I want to commend you, Lisa, for looking beyond yourself and your company to, as you always do every year too, but this is just so magnificent because it just you stretched your borders literally,
literally,
literally
literally, literally. We are like
to
crossing
girls
the
that are being forced into marriages in Zimbabwe. And I think, you know, it's an awesome effort, and we're believing
top.
that you're going to reach your goal and go beyond.
Well, you and our mother are both certified for, making sure that
Absolutely.
women are not abused. Please tell me because I say it wrong all the
We
time.
are certified with the New Jersey Coalition for to End Domestic Violence.
And we know that
And
that's abuse, right? And this is a form,
absolutely,
and forcing a young girl,
a
not a woman,
girl.
to get
Yeah,
married is
yeah,
abuse, no matter how.
absolutely.
And all of us in our family, we are very sensitive to abuse, and so we try to find ways to help people that have been women, especially that have been abused. That's a big deal. That's why we have my mommy's organization, which is empowering women to stand.
Empowering women
We
to
want to empower
stand.
women. We want to empower women. We want to end abuse, and we want to also mentor youth. That's another big deal for us because you, me, Reggie, and our mother, we all mentor people. So that's huge. So it's all kind of like right
And
up
my
our.
daughter, yes,
Yes, don't forget Angie as well. She does a lot when it comes to
yes,
mentoring
yeah,
you. My,
mentoring
my,
you.
my
So it's
attorney
just
niece,
it's it's attorneys. Oh,
my
that's
attorneys.
attorneys.
My niece, the attorney, who I have to give a shout out to because I kind of tear up, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Angie is an awesome attorney, and she helps me with stuff, and she's helped me with business and as an attorney. So I just want to send a shout out to Angie and thank her for the way she
Awesome.
helped me in such
Yeah.
an amazing way. And she really did. I pay for legal services, and they pretty much committed legal malpractice. And Angie stepped in and boom, resolved it, helped me take care of everything. And I'm
Oh,
eternally grateful for the way she helped me that year. So I just
awesome.
say thank you to my attorneys, my niece, the attorney, Angela Middleton. Um,
Yes.
had to send a shout out. I didn't forget, but I'm glad we got to that point where we brought her name up because I have to just say thank you to her. Especially, I always like to thank people when I'm celebrating, and definitely I want to thank Angie because she was very helpful. But we this segment, like I said, I got a little teared up, and I don't want to. But
Yes, she is an awesome woman, an awesome young woman, an awesome daughter and niece.
yes,
And
she is. Yes, she is. And I don't know if
yeah,
she's watching but she'll probably catch this
I think
sometime.
she is watching.
But just want to send a shout out to her. And um we're looking for Melissa to come back and join us just to help us wrap up this segment and get prepared for
Everybody. Yes. How are you?
Hey, hey,
oh
hey.
my god, Melissa, you are such a bubbly. I asked
She
Melissa
is such a joy. Such a
I
joy.
said, Melissa, how much coffee did you have today?
I only have one, but I have to be like really energetic with it because we are doing a phenomenal job for doing fundraising for the
Yes,
child marriages. And here, I have a surprise
yes.
for you. Look at this.
Oh, awesome. We have
What does it
Angela.
say? I have my glasses on and I
Glad
still
to
can't
so
see.
proud of the work you're doing. Glad to help in any way. That was Angela. That's Patricia. That's my attorney.
Oh,
My niece,
my
the
daughter
attorney.
popped up.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
oh,
Dr. Are you related?
Yeah, she's my
that's my
niece.
daughter.
Your daughter? Is
Yes,
Yes,
you
yes.
have a
I
loyal
have I
daughter?
have twins. That's my daughter. I have a son as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Today is his
wow.
wedding anniversary, 6 years. So we won't be seeing him on Zoom. He's somewhere
Wow.
celebrating.
The megaton's are awesome. I'm glad to be part of it. I'm MM.
Yeah.
Okay, MM.
Go ahead, Melissa Middleton. There you go. I don't.
Right.
Yeah. How many more do we
We
have?
have a few more to go. It's 5 o'clock. We're going to try to bring. So
Yes.
we thank everyone who will watch this or who is watching, and we thank
Mhm.
you for helping us end child marriages.
Yes.
Yes.
Donate AAYLF 2010 at Gmail and make note to UACCD number 13.
And you
Thank
do that
you.
through PayPal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And see you at 5.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.